trading you might have done in New Orleans?
Well, let me give you 2 points. The first one about Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. I don't think AD, even though I know he's the franchise player, I don't think he has that much say-so on who's going to be the personnel on that team. They may ask him, but I don't think so. And then you also got to realize, I played with Paul Pierce. We played together 7 years. When Danny Ainge came in and took over, I thought I was going to be there. I thought me and Paul were best friends. But he couldn't stop them from trading me. It wasn't his call. It was Danny Ainge's call. It was the ownership's call. So they know that. When they decided not to sign DeMarcus Cousins back, it wasn't on Anthony Davis. He probably would like to have him back. They probably were good friends off the court. But on the court decisions, they made an on the court decision based off DeMarcus Cousins' attitude.
Before we get to the Warriors part of this, I just want to follow up on that though. But don't you? I tend to agree with you, but I also think that if Anthony Davis had proactively said we have to have him back, I think he could have done, and I don't blame him for not doing that, by the way. But do you think that he has, because he's the franchise guy, that if he pounded the table and said we have to bring him back, that could have impacted this?
I don't think so, because I think Anthony Davis would have won them on the team. But 2 guys that went to the University of Kentucky, they spent a lot of time together in the summertime. They worked out together a ton last year to get ready for the upcoming season. Why would that change? He just got hurt. You had success. He was 6 games over 500. I would have been more worried about why you didn't bring Rondo back. Obviously, it seems like they lowball Rondo. He was making $3.3 million last year. He got offered 1 for 9 from the Lakers. Rondo's at a point in his career where he's probably trying to get the money. If I'm going to go get some money, and I need to go give me $9 million for 1 year.
Yes.
So it's a different stage. But I just think Anthony Davis does have some say-so what goes on in New Orleans. But I think in that decision with Achilles and what you're getting with DeMarcus Cousins off the court and in the locker room attitude, I don't think Anthony Davis could have stopped New Orleans from making that decision.
Nick, you know I feel this way. I don't feel like the players should have that great impact on who's going to be there. We're in a day and age now where I think the fans and everyone, because everything's reported, like we want the stars to be, oh man, to pick the players. No, he's already got a tough enough job trying to be the star of the Pelicans, let alone trying to get into all this other stuff, business-wise, who stays, who goes. Also, if you make a comment on who stays and who goes, when it goes bad, you know who's there to blame? You're there to blame. So I don't like the fact that AD is getting a hit for, if DeMarcus is not in the building and things are going well, and you do an interview and say, how are things going? Things are going well. He's not saying things are going better without him being there. People draw too many conclusions from this, and they're trying to attach that story with AD to bring it some credibility.
And then also remember this, Anthony Davis played for Monty Williams. Turned his career around, got him playing good basketball. I made the playoffs for him. Anthony Davis was upset when they fired Monty Williams.
Yes.
And so you don't think he wanted Monty Williams to stay? I'm pretty sure he wanted DeMarcus Cousins to stay.
And that didn't matter.
Yes.
Just one quick follow-up on this, because I know you want to get to the Warriors part of this, or we want to get to the Warriors part of this. I also think that it's important to know that this was not a protracted process that led to Golden State getting Boogie. I do believe, and it has been reported by the people on the ground, New Orleans thought they were going to be able to bring Boogie back. They just thought it was a process. Boogie turned down their initial offer. New Orleans, I think then, they turned down their offer during the season, I should say. New Orleans then saw from the marketplace, man, we might have gotten lucky he turned that down. We might be able to get him for less. And then it was within a few hours, he is the one calling Golden State. So the idea that New Orleans was just flatly, nope, you're out of here, you're gone, we don't want you. I don't think that's the case. Now,
And how do we know Anthony Davis did not say, I want Boogie here? Boogie reacted, called Golden State. He had already signed and committed to them. And how do we know that?
It was within 48 hours, too.
It was within 36 hours, according to the reports. I mean, it was almost instantaneous.
The other thing AD insinuated was that it talked about his locker room presence and what Boogie did as I don't even want to call it distraction or disruption, just anything that was just sort of keeping them from remaining intact. Do you think he could have that same situation in Golden State where they already have such great chemistry and they're all veterans and they know what they're doing? Do you worry at all that Boogie could have that influence?
I don't think so. I think when Boogie Cousins called, I think Bob Myers called the ownership, called Steve Kerr, and called the 4 All-Stars and said, listen, we got a chance to get Boogie Cousins. This might be serious.
Now, how much money is going to cost? Because that was the next question.
Well, that's to the ownership.
But I'm sure. No,
the players was like, wait, how?
Okay,
and then they find out,
he's going to play for the mid-level. So they like, bring him. We'll try our luck. He's an insurance policy. If you look at Golden State last year, they were hurt last year a lot. They had to go deep into their bench to play the young guys very early. They actually worked out well for them when they got in the playoffs, but they played a lot of their young guys. They signed Quinn Cook right in the middle of the season, backup point guard. So you got an insurance policy. You got a guy that's hungry. You're hoping that he's going to buy in. I don't know if he's going to be able to buy in. You got to have the right mental mentality, because now Boogie Cousins is not going to get the shots he thinks he's going to get. He's going to get probably 6 to 7 shots a game. Obviously, he's very skilled, so he'll be able to fit in offensively. I said this yesterday, defensively, he's going to struggle in the pick and roll. But that's only going to be with certain teams in the Western Conference. You know, Houston, Portland, OKC, those teams are going to they'll put him in a ton of pick and rolls. So those games, he probably won't get a lot of minutes. But for the most part, he'll be able to play throughout the season and give them some offensive production. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, you don't want to insult the man and not start him. So you're probably going to start him, but he'd probably be better coming off the bench where he can be featured and get more offensive plays. But I think he'll be fine, and if it doesn't work, they can let him go. They can just be like, listen, you're gone.
But that's the skill of it. What about his personality? Will that rub anyone the wrong way?
If it doesn't work, that's his point. Is they can move on.
They can just get rid of it.
They can just move on.
I mean, he's a high tech guy. He gets after the referees a lot. He plays the game with a lot of emotion. He goes after the referees. Draymond Green does it, but their whole team go after the referees, so he fits right in that way.
Right.
And we should clarify one thing real quick. Anthony Davis, there's no quotes from him on any of this.
It was just part of the report.
There's a report that this is true. So, like, when Jenna said Anthony insinuated, like,
it's
according
through
to
the report. It's the same report that said that he may not have.
You know, Anthony Davis, big fan of the show. Don't want him watching. And hey, ain't nobody got no quote from me.
I'm mad Rondo not there.
Okay.
He's like, I'll give you more issues, AD, not just that one. All right, Antoine, we'll see you a little bit later. Coming up, a Steeler legend with some strong words for Le'Veon Bell. That's next on First Things First.
You didn't get a truck to do fake photo stuff. Get some Firestone tires and go do truck stuff. Try Firestone tires for 30 days. If you don't love them, we'll refund or replace. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Sam Adams Summer Ale, the official beer of summer. Pairs well with this. And that. We will be there in no time. Not so much this. And it tastes pretty great with that. Because it's summer. And nothing goes better with that than this. Sam Adams Summer Ale. Fill your glass.
How does Kind make a great tasting protein bar? We crack some nuts, add rich dark chocolate, spread crunchy peanut butter, and pack in 12 grams of protein and 4 awesome flavors. Kind protein from real food.
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
She shed was struck by lightning.
Is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl. That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
This is the Oasis. First to finish the contest gets control of it.
I would risk everything.
Home Ready Player One now.
What a stunning variety of 6 meals in mint condition. Look at this new KFC Crispy Kernel Sandwich. The latest of KFC's $5 fill-ups. I reckon everything in this collection costs just $5 each. Congratulations! KFC, it's finger looking good.
Nasty nighttime heartburn? Try new Alka-Seltzer PM gummies. The only fast, powerful heartburn relief plus melatonin so you can fall asleep quickly.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Introducing the all-new Volkswagen Jump with App Connect and available Beats Audio.
Wicked Tuna Outer Banks, new episode Sundays at 9 on National Geographic.
One incredible night of rock and blues with 2 Grammy Award-winning guitarists. I got the blues. Buddy Guy. Put my head down to and Johnny Lamb. July 11th.
That's Rose Music Center at the Heights. Reserve seat tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and RoseMusicCenter.com. The Real Deal, Buddy Guy and Johnny Lang together live.
Jack Lynch presents Running with Sasquatch. In life, there are people who hike with poles and drink their meals, and people who feed on Jack Lynch jerky, a protein snack made with 100% beef. Because in life, you either run with Sasquatch or you run from Sasquatch.
The best of the best go head-to-head on the biggest night of the summer. The MLB All-Star Game, July 17th on Fox.
FIFA World Cup quarterfinals kick off tomorrow on FS1. First, Pogba and team sensation Mbappe lead France against Uruguay. Then it's Neymar and Brazil battling Belgium. The World Cup quarterfinals starting at 9 a.m. Eastern on FS1, or stream all the action live on the Fox Sports app.
Brazil-Belgium might be the two best teams left in this tournament, but in the early game, the one on they're both on FS1, but the early game, Uruguay-France, whoever wins, great storylines. Either a redemption story for Suarez of Uruguay, or Mbappe becoming the next big thing in
soccer. Yeah. All right, we'll get to Kyrie and the Knicks in a second, but first, new Lakers signee Lance Stevenson yamming all over some poor guy in the gym. Except these poor guys are not NBA players, so...
But this is what we're talking about with Big Ben, though. NBA guys can get run in anywhere, anytime. When we used to live in L.A., UCLA's gym. See NBA guys there all summer. Can't do that in pro football.
All right, check this out, Zaire Wade. This is D-Wade's 16-year-old son with the step-back jumper over Knicks guard Timmy Hardaway.
He's really beginning to emerge, man, on the national scene for kids 16 and under, little lefty. Little point guard. Looks a little bit like my man De'Aaron Fox. Oh, he played in Kentucky and Sacramento, and a lefty.
Especially the hair as well adds to it.
All right, Major League Baseball, Keon Broxton of the Brewers wears number 23 because of that. Get up there, jump, grab it.
See, it was the 4th of July. What are you noticing about that? I noticed the grab straight away dead center, robbing the home run. You noticed something else.
Oh, yeah, I knew when a guy jumped like that, his name was probably going to be like Keon or something, Dion or something like that. I just knew that. And then I was surprised, dude. Got the stars and stripes representing on the 4th of July. Oh, we got stars on the right. We got stripes on the left side.
Talking about his socks. That's great.
Apparently, Kyrie Irving has a case of just when things get good, I should move on. Helps win a title with LeBron in Cleveland, demands a trade. Now, after watching his young teammates reach Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals with him sidelined, Chris Mannix is reporting Kyrie might want out again, saying the Celtics should be scared that Kyrie is bolting after this season. Nick Wright, how important is Kyrie to the Celtics' future after all the guys you saw play and how well they developed last year?
All right, first let me talk about Mannix for a moment. Mannix is a great NBA and, oddly enough, combat sports reporter, boxing and mixed martial arts, but there's nothing he's more plugged into than this team, the Boston Celtics. So if he's saying the Celtics are worried, the Celtics are worried. You can take that to the bank. He works on the he works locally in television there. He knows this team. And they should be worried. Like, they weren't on his list of teams. He gave the Cavs 4 teams. That's, what, an 8th of the league? There's Miami's on there, San Antonio's on there, the Knicks are on there, Minnesota's on there. Boston wasn't. And I understand he was having his deviated septum surgery, and it was odd to me he wasn't on the bench for that Game 7 after being on the bench throughout the playoff run. How valuable is he to their future? I would say, I think they have a handful of pieces more important for what they're trying to do. I think Jason Tatum's more important long term. I think given that there's less questions about health, Gordon Hayward's more important, and you have him locked in. And they've got this Kings pick that's unprotected except for number 1 overall that could turn into R.J. Barrett or Zion Williamson or one of these guys that's Quentin Grimes. So I would put him right beneath that trifecta. But yeah, I mean, if the Celtics are trying to compete with the Warriors, they need everything and more. And thinking you're only going to have Kyrie for 1 more year would concern me as well.
So you're concerned about him being with the Celtics?
Yes.
The Celtics are concerned?
Yes.
The reason why the Celtics are concerned, if he wasn't a great player, would they be concerned?
No.
No. So great players, and you're trying to challenge one of the best basketball teams we've ever seen. You need as many great players, not projects. You need great players who can do it under the gun. Now, I have to disagree with you about Gordon Hayward. I don't believe he's more important because they got a couple other young wing players on their rookie deal. All right, we have shown under the highest stages, except the NBA Finals, which Gordon, he hadn't played at that stage either. They've shown that they can perform. They're more athletic than him. So I don't think he's as important as Kyrie. I believe Kyrie's important because of who Golden State is. He's the only one that's had success against Golden State. He's the only one with Steph that I'm sure puts some type of fear or trepidation in Steph to have to play against him in a 7-game series. So I think when you're trying to unseat one of the greatest basketball teams that we've ever seen, you have to go with as few question marks and go with, I know this can happen. I know Kyrie can handle the stage. I know he can run a team against that team. If we were talking about the rest of the NBA and everything, I'd be like, yeah, I might be a little more patient. But I'm talking about going against Golden State because Golden State's going to be the team that ultimately that you have to match up against.
What is the team's responsibility? What is the Celtics' responsibility when you hear that there's a guy in your team who may not want to play there long term? Is it your responsibility to try to, I don't know, somehow talk with him, massage the situation, get him in there, get him happy, or
try to win a title right now?
Like right now.
I mean, it's obviously what they're trying to do. Like the Celtics believe they're going to be the team that comes out of the East. CC's right in this regard. There's only 2 guys in this league that have had success in the finals at a super high level against the Warriors. One is LeBron James. The other's that kid. And if this is our last year with him, let's go see if we can duplicate that success. And let's see if making another NBA Finals, if Kyrie does reclaim his mantle as the most forward-facing Celtic from Jason Tatum, who I think took it while he was hurt, if that makes it more attractive to Kyrie, if that makes Kyrie more likely to want to stay. Kyrie is not demanding a trade. He's not asking. It is just the belief that he already has his eyes set on next season as opposed to the one that's coming up right in front of him.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, is Kawhi Leonard afraid of LeBron? That's next on First Things First.
Afraid, terrified, trepidation.
The FIFA World Cup is down to the quarterfinals. Big drive! First, Luis Suarez in Uruguay try to shut down Kylian Mbappe in France. Then, Neymar leads Brazil in an epic showdown with Belgium. The FIFA World Cup continues on FS1.
Try Firestone tires for 30 days. If you don't love them, we'll refund or replace. So go ahead. Kick them. The Firestone 30-day buy and try guarantee. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
No matter who rides point, there are over 10,000 Allstate agents riding sweet. Call one today. Are you in good hands?
Skechers is proud to introduce the all-new Healthcare Pro Series. Our vibrant styles have innovative features designed to support you in the field. Slip-resistant rubber traction help prevent falls, and air-cooled memory foam insoles provide all-day comfort. The Healthcare Pro Series, only from Skechers.
Copper Tone Sport, proven to protect street skaters and freestylers. Stops up to 97% UV. Lasts through heat, through sweat. Copper Tone, proven to protect.
More and more people are finding themselves in a Chevy for the first time. Now you can too during the Chevy 4th of July sales event. Now through July 9th, get 10 to 20% below MSRP on your fitted Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. That's over $6,700 on this Chevy Equinox. This 4th of July, discover why Chevy is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Your hair's so soft. Did you use Head & Shoulders 2-in-1?
I did, Mom. Want to try it? It intensely moisturizes your hair and scalp and keeps you flake-free.
Manolo, look at my soft hair. I should be in the shop now, too. Try Head & Shoulders 2-in-1.
Good times begin with the cool, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's brewed with real iced tea. It's the hard iced tea that goes down easy with a twist. hard iced tea. Unwind with a twist.
I've been making blades here at Gillette for 20 years. There's a lot of innovation that goes into making America's #1 shave. Precision machinery and high-quality materials from around the world. Nobody else even comes close. Now starting at $7.99. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Better pizza doesn't start with luck. It starts with our ingredients. At Papa John's, that means slapping our hand-tossed dough just right, every time. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas, $7.77 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Could this party get any better?
Dr. Pepper, cherry on! A cherry treat!
What? I'm a horse. I like carrots.
This party did get better.
Dr. Pepper, cherry on!
Oh, we moved to that finally. Come on,
We're working on it.
Hey, look at that.
Let's go for it.
It's starting to feel like home.
Zillow.
Salads should look like this. Crisp leaves of lettuce, freshly made dressing, clean food that looks this good, delivered to your desk. Now delivering to home or office. Panera, food as it should be.
Time for stories to start your morning, brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting that the Lakers believe that Lonzo Ball's camp leaked news of a meniscus tear that could require surgery. He did it in order to keep Lonzo out of trade talks for Kawhi Leonard. Nick, what was your reaction to this report?
That is a dangerous game, man. And if Woj is reporting that the Lakers believe it, the Lakers believe it. Now, should be noted, Woj is not reporting Lonzo definitely did this. He's reporting the Lakers believe Lonzo and his camp did this. And that's those things where if your employer believes you did something, it doesn't really matter if you did it unless you can exonerate yourself. Lonzo is a good player, and he's a very good prospect. At some point you ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the juice worth the squeeze? And with Lonzo, that squeeze is getting harder and harder.
It's 2018. The squeezing, you can't do that no more.
What? This is
what I'm worried about with Lonzo. The last report came out, Magic Johnson having a great offseason. Now we have this report coming out. How's offseason really going?
Okay.
Fair point. Yesterday we discussed the possibility of Damian Lillard being dealt to the Lakers to team up with LeBron. A fan asked Lillard if he'd be happy with the deal to LA, to which he responded, quote, "I'm typically a happy camper." CC, could Lillard and LeBron compete for a title?
Not just those two. They need other players besides them. He is one of the superstars that we have in the league, coming off his best season ever. And him and LeBron's skill set match up. We'll probably get tired of hearing that. This guy right here, yeah, his skill set match up with LeBron. But his ability to be able to knock down and extend the defense on the court from the perimeter, that's a pretty special skill set.
It is. I don't think against in 2018 those two guys would be good enough. And that is what is so frustrating to me about the NBA right now. That for the entirety of NBA history, a top 3 guy, the best guy in the league, plus another top 15 guy, that's always been enough to compete for a title. But the last 2 years, it's not enough anymore. Not in the new Golden State paradigm.
I wanted to talk about how many points he averaged and everything, but my stat guy just got here. So I couldn't grab
26 a game.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
My God.
Your stat guy sits right across.
Oh, my God.
Sticking with LBJ in Los Angeles.
Who would ever thought that?
Nobody.
According to reports, Lakers head coach Luke Walton had no contact with LeBron during his recruitment and still has not met with James since he signed that 4-year deal. Chris, is this anything to make a big deal about?
Oh, yeah, man. Really be nervous about this one because at the top of free agency, Luke Walton, no, I'm not calling Luke Walton, Magic Johnson shows up at your front door. So I think that supersedes the coach. Magic Johnson is basically giving LeBron James the message for the organization.
By the time the Clutch Sports press release came out, LeBron was halfway to Europe on a private plane along with his wife, his best friend, some other people. Like, there was less than 24 hours from free agency opening to LeBron no longer being on this continent. Here's what Luke Walton should worry about. Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson did not hire him. So that's if there's any concern, it's that the power structure there, he's not there high.
They talked to him.
Right.
I didn't talk to him.
Right, but it's not, and he came the same draft class as LeBron, played against LeBron. Like, he had a relationship with LeBron. There just was no time for them to get together unless Luke wants to go to southern Italy. It's nice this
Why
time of
wouldn't
year.
he want it?
Yeah, private jet.
We will end with some football. The Steelers and Le'Veon Bell have 11 days to lock down a long-term deal. Former Pittsburgh running back Jerome Bettis weighed in saying Le'Veon is, quote, not going to be as good going somewhere else. See, does Bettis have a point here that Bell wouldn't be this great playing someone else's system?
I like my Hall of Famer Jerome Bettis. Man, he's one of the greatest Pittsburgh Steelers ever, and they are really a family. As an organization, I'm talking about the legends, the players that have played the game, the Hall of Famers, the relationship they have with each other. It's really special. It's not like a lot of other pro sports teams that I see. The legacy, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Mel Blount, what they mean, Frank O'Hare, what they mean to each other, and how the organization does. There's some connective tissue there that is real. What JB is talking about is the Pittsburgh Steelers, their dominant offensive set is a 3-receiver set. So he has to dictate defensively, are we going to play a nickel? We're going to play a dime with 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive backs, which is a dime, or we're going to play a regular 34 front or a 43 front and make them throw the football. I'm going to put all my big people here, and he doesn't get that. He gets playing, he's running against a lot of nickel and dime defensive formation, so it makes it a lot easier. Not having that linebacker on the field and having a defensive back, but his forte is not tackling, that's how they attack you. Then if you put people in the box, they throw the ball at you. So it is a great system for him to be able to thrive in playing with 2 other superstars.
Listen, this is a very symbiotic relationship where both parties, the team and the player, are greatly benefiting from the other party. Like, the Steelers have benefited enormously from having a guy as good as Le'Veon Bell, a guy that can catch the ball as much as he can, one of the most patient running backs I've ever seen. Sometimes you watch Le'Veon Bell and you think, was there a whistle? Like, he stops, he looks, he finds the hole, and then he goes. And of course he benefits from being one of maybe the only running back in the league, depending on what you think of Matt Ryan, that has a top 5 quarterback and a top 5 wide receiver to go along with him. So if you ask yourself, if you switched Zeke and L. Bell, who benefits more? Like, well, Zeke benefits more, I would imagine. I understand how they got a great offensive line in Dallas, but Zeke's dealing with a lot of
both of them, the game is made a little bit easier based on scheme and some on personnel. Dallas being personnel and Pittsburgh being scheme and personnel.
Sure, so maybe I picked Zeke and they have that great offensive line. But yes. Leonard Fournette and L. Bell, right? Like,
there you go.
There's maybe a better example.
Yes.
Like, if you put Leonard Fournette on this Steelers team, he benefits enormously. And if you ask L. Bell to go play for that Jags team, which they spent some money on offensive line this year, but in the past, not the greatest offensive line.
And what Jerome Bettis is saying, he can't get those same numbers in Jacksonville.
Right.
Even though he is an elite player, one of the top 3 running backs, him, Todd Gurley, and Zeke, those would be the top 3, but systems do make players, and he has benefited from being a part of Pittsburgh. And the other thing, man, Mike Tomlin is a dude I can play for. He's easygoing, but he's intense. But man, he does not work. He does not work like Belichick, where if you make a mistake, they're going to cut you. He has a rope, man, and he will extend that rope to his players. Now, if you have not thought that L. Bell has not benefited from that, with his overall, the way he wants to be free and do the type of, he's getting the rap, he's into a lot of different things. He's able to do that without being questioned being a Pittsburgh Steeler. Is he able to do that in all other NFL cities? I don't think so.
And I'm not saying this is the Denver Broncos of the early 2000s, where it was like, hey, former Marine, come in, get 1,000 yards. Mike Anderson, Orlandis Gary, anyone, walk on down. I'm not saying it's that. But I did see D'Angelo Williams, who seemed to be on his last legs, go to Pittsburgh, and when he replaced L, average 100 yards from scrimmage per game.
Very effective.
And so, and D'Angelo's a good player, but he was past his prime. So, L. Bell's absolutely benefiting from a really good situation for offensive talent as a whole.
All right, let's get back to some basketball now. There's a slight wrinkle in the Kawhi to Los Angeles plan. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, despite making it clear he only wants to play in L.A., Kawhi is now somewhat hesitant to join the Clippers and doesn't want to be dwarfed by LeBron with the Lakers. Wishes there were 3 teams there. So let's talk about what this means for the Lakers. Nick, does LeBron need Kawhi to win a title?
If he wants any chance of competing for a title this year, absolutely. Like, are they going to execute trade for Kevin Durant? They're going to all of a sudden, some of the Warriors going to retire? Like, and then what, James Harden coming over? And by the way, I think Kawhi's a better fit than Harden, even if I know Harden's the defending MVP. To compete for a title this year,
it's got to be Kawhi.
Absolutely. Like, this is, what we need to ask ourselves is, what do you need to compete with a team that is starting more talent from an accomplishment standpoint, from a points per game standpoint? They're about to become the first team ever to have 4 guys in their starting lineup once Boogie gets back that averaged more than 20 a game the previous year. Like, how much talent do you need to beat the most talented team ever? That's the question. And so, is LeBron plus some young guys and Rondo enough? Hell no. LeBron plus Kawhi probably not even isn't enough, but at least opens the window slightly. So, yes, like, LeBron desperately needs, for this year, Kawhi Leonard. Next year, as you mentioned earlier, see if some Warriors leave, see if things change. But for this year, it would be Kawhi or bust.
Kawhi, the window for LA and LeBron is not open yet. If Kawhi signs, the window immediately stays open. I mean, it immediately goes open.
Yeah.
And for LeBron, the window will stay open longer with Kawhi than it would with other superstars. Because Kawhi is an accomplished player, but Kawhi is also going to be in a situation that he's very familiar and comfortable with. He wants to play second fiddle a lot. That's his personality. He's not a guy that is a desire of the limelight. So when he came to San Antonio, he was able to concentrate on himself, and Tim Duncan was the focal point. He would be able to do the same thing in Los Angeles for 4 or 5 years. Him and LeBron would be a great combination. And then Kawhi would still be able to be a top 5 player by himself when LeBron transitions into what's next. So if Kawhi signs, gets traded and signs, the window opens. With Kawhi being there, because they're at the perfect age, 27 and 33. But the 27 is seasoned and has had as high as you can go in the NBA. Defensively, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. NBA Finals MVP, and he's got those personal matchups with the players that he is looking forward to trying to play against them. So I think it's the most significant thing. Besides LeBron signing with the Lakers, Kawhi, man, is the best fit. And if they get him signed, I believe they're going to have a banner. They're going to win a championship for the Lakers.
And listen, so now people have watched the show every day. It's like, man, so many Kawhi Leonard reports. Like, what do I make heads or tails of?
Listen to me.
Okay, well, by the way, Chris, that is not inaccurate. Like, Chris is as connected on this and has been from, if you watch the show for the last 6 months, basically since Christmas when the Kawhi thing really started. Like, wait, why is he not back yet? What's going on? That Chris has relationships there that date prior to Kawhi coming into pro basketball, right?
Yes.
And so what we know from Chris, and then if you want an NBA reporter to corroborate it, fine, Chris Broussard as well, that Kawhi wants Los Angeles. It is not Lakers or bust. He wants Los Angeles. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, and I don't think this is what Shams actually reported, but Shams went on The Herd and said, listen, Kawhi wants Los Angeles. And then some people took that to mean he's be fine with the Clippers. He doesn't want to play with LeBron. Here's what I know. One of the reasons Kawhi Leonard was upset, started to be upset in San Antonio, was he found out his Q rating, his marketability wasn't up to the level of his playing ability. Now, part of that's his personality, part of that's the city, and part of that's just overall fame. If he goes to the Clippers, I don't think he's worried about competing with LeBron on the court, but competing with LeBron for notoriety there and nationally becomes difficult. It becomes difficult for the most charismatic. It'd be difficult for Russell Westbrook, right? It'd be difficult for anybody, much less a quiet guy. Competing with LeBron for free agents. Until LeBron starts to track down, the reality is he's still the best player in the world. He's still the one guy that unquestionably can look Kawhi Leonard in the eye and say, I'm better than you. Like, Kevin Durant's probably better than Kawhi, but Kevin Durant can't definitively say, I'm definitely both ways better than you. So, of course, it would make more sense for Kawhi to want to be with him, even if he doesn't think he has to be with him. And lastly, it's always a bit of Clippers versus Lakers. And I know Jerry West is I believe Jerry West is a better GM than Magic. Jerry West is also 80 years old. And how much longer is Jerry West? Jerry West has bounced around the league a bit, going from team to team by his own volition, but he's 80 years old. So how much, the ideal for Kawhi has always been the Lakers.
We talk so much about whether Kawhi would want to play with LeBron. From LeBron's perspective, does Kawhi make a good fit for him on the court?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because he can take the second, third, or if they got a duck, a guy who's not an offensive player, they can put LeBron on him on the defensive end, and LeBron is really great at roaming the defense and being like a free safety. Yeah, and he can rest on it. Also, LeBron's not going to lead the NBA in minutes if Kawhi's on the team. And also, what LeBron likes. The reason why we think Damian Lillard would be a good combination, because you can give the ball to Kawhi or put Kawhi in the pick and roll, put Kawhi on the box, and Kawhi can get you buckets. That's the reason, one of the many reasons, why Kawhi and LeBron are such a great fit.
And it's just this league's becoming a wing-dominated league. It's like it's great point guards and wings. Like, that's what this league is about right now. And these are not only two of the three best wings in the sport. Go ahead, see.
No, you keep on saying.
It's not only two of the three best wings in the sport, but guys that Kawhi is an A-plus defender and amazingly has turned himself into an A-plus shooter. LeBron is no longer an A-plus defender and has never been an A-plus shooter. LeBron, though, is an A-plus passer and an A-plus finisher at the rim. Those are the two spots that Kawhi has never been an A-plus guy. So those two jigsaw pieces match up perfectly. That's where, like Ben Simmons, LeBron, you see, oh, well, they have similar skill sets, similar weaknesses.
Yeah, there's a lot of things with the Kawhi, hearing a lot of reports and everything, but this is what you can believe. Kawhi, in communicating with his people, there's a couple misunderstandings. The number one misunderstanding was when Kawhi said L.A., that he said the Lakers. No, he didn't say that. He said Los Angeles, which included the Clippers. And there is no one that can get a quote from Kawhi or his people to say that he ever said anything about not playing with LeBron James or not wanting to play with LeBron James. So the Lakers, that's real. He will go to the Clippers. And people trying to say that Kawhi might be going away from the Lakers because of LeBron, that is just not true. That's a fabrication.
The people misinterpreted the fact that people thought when LeBron got there, if Kawhi wasn't already only looking at the Lakers, that LeBron getting there made it to where that was the only place he would go. That wasn't true. People misconstrued that to mean, oh, that must mean he doesn't want to be there, which was never the case.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, back to football. It's Big Ben Roethlisberger talking retirement yet again. That's next on First Things First.
To battle for the prize, to call themselves the Ultimate Fighter. Plus, undefeated middleweight Israel Adesanya puts his record on the line against Brad Tavares. The Ultimate Fighter season finale Friday at 7 Eastern on FS1.
Hi. This is amazing. With moderate to severe ulcerative colitis.
Are you okay?
Even when I was there, I never knew when my symptoms would keep us apart. So I talked to my doctor about Humira. I learned Humira can help and keep UC under control when other medications haven't worked well enough. And it helps people achieve control that lasts, so you can experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, control is possible.
Every time a customer walks through the door, we promise to take care of the car. There's no shortcuts in life. If you're going to do something, do it right the first time.
Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Nothing gets a family's full attention like my freshly prepared chicken. The delicious KFC $20 fill-up. With 8 pieces of extra crispy chicken and sides will surely get your kids off their phones. And they may even look at you, their loving parent. KFC, eggs finger looking good.
More and more people are finding themselves in a Chevy for the first time. Now you can too during the Chevy 4th of July sales event. Now through July 9th, get 10 to 20% below MSRP on your favorite Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. That's over $6,700 on this Chevy Equinox. This 4th of July, discover why Chevy is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
The moment you realize you're ready to make dinner, but your oven isn't.
At Lowe's, we have more appliances to choose from, so you'll find the right one at the right price, and we'll deliver it for free. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's.
Lowe's 4th of July savings continue with up to 40% off select appliance special values.
Don't toss it, JB Weld it.
They live among us, but they're different. One can open the heavens with his bat and patrol them with his glove. Another moves like a flash in the shadow of a rooster and in the nation's capital. When he strikes, thunder echoes out for miles. Major League Baseball. Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox. Check local listings.
Back here with Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and we are going viral. Tom Brady has begun the quest for his 6th Super Bowl ring, and TB12 might already have his eyes on the Patriots' Week 7 matchup against the Bears.
There's a bear. Right. There's a...
What is he? Listen, I watched Tom Brady at the Combine. I also watched him in the Super Bowl go out on a pass pattern and try to catch a ball. He is not the fleetest of foot.
No.
Get the hell away from
It's
there.
probably a bad idea to sit there and give play-by-play on what the bear is doing in the woods. It's a bear. If you see it, you go the opposite direction.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, that's the New England way, man. Tom Brady living the life. Montana, man, in the woods.
CC, put that on the list of things I ain't gonna never do. It's
No, you won't see too many brown people up there with brown people.
Exactly.
You live in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
There's bears in Jersey, most densely populated state in the country. There's some bear problems in New Jersey, correct?
No, there are some bear problems.
Man, I've been on the subway with people from Jersey. Forget the Bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Jersey's rough.
I'm getting away from the Bears, Nick.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
That is our theme. The Bears. The Bears. NFL season right around the corner means different things for different players. Ben Roethlisberger, entering his 15th season, has considered retirement a total of 3,000 times in the last 2 years. Now says he has to be careful at the start of the season, saying, quote, "It is a fine line I walk at this age of resting, getting my body enough rest for the season, and of working out to prepare." Chris Canty, you laugh. Tell me why, A, and B, how important is the offseason for older stars like Big Ben?
You know, I'm laughing because NFL players know that it's a little bit different in terms of how you have to train when you get older. You work smarter, not harder, but the preparation feels harder in terms of the effort that you have to exert just to make sure that you're ready to go for the season. But nobody could ever accuse Ben Roethlisberger of being a gym rat. Nick, I heard you say that earlier. He's never been the guy that you say, man, he prepares in the offseason like no other. He's got one of the best work ethics in the league. He's never been that type of quarterback. But what he has been able to do is a good job of extending plays, being able to shrug off defenders and buy time for his receivers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers receivers and Ben Roethlisberger run the scramble drill as about as good as anybody in the NFL. But when I hear the comments that Big Ben is making, I'm thinking to myself, with a quarterback that's getting up there in age, his window and the Steelers' window for competing for a championship is starting to close. So you got to think about making sure that your quarterback is ready to go week one when the season kicks off. This can't be a situation where he's trying to work himself into shape. He's got to be ready to go as soon as the season kicks off, just because of the expectations that the Steelers have on the 2018 season.
Listen, Ben's been an amazing player in this league and dealt with a lot of punishment and been, relatively speaking, durable. Never suffered a enormous injury in his career. Now, he misses games, seemingly misses a game or two most years, but we haven't seen Big Ben knocked out for the season since he's been the starting quarterback there. And that's been partially good luck, and partially there's a lot of reason you can put up to it. Not a lot of it is because he's doing these plyometrics in the offseason so he can be as pliable and durable as possible. Like, some guys are just built this way. And God bless him. I got nothing against it. I just don't. It feels to me like a pre-excuse. Like when you guys see me, if you're wondering why of the quarterbacks we're lining them up from, like Cam Newton is at the front of the class as far as looks like impeccably. Cam, Russell Wilson, I would say Matt Ryan actually is in the guy that's in really great shape. I'm going to be closer to Mike.
And here's why.
And here's why. I just don't know why he feels the need to say it. Like, I'm in the business of talking for a living, so I hate to tell people not to talk, but I don't know why he feels the need to let us know I'm going to take it a little easy this offseason.
Yeah, there's just a couple things in this that just they're just kind of funny. First, Nick, you know what it's like to be in the NFL locker room?
In a locker room?
Yeah.
Yes. Not as a player.
But do you know what it's like to play?
No.
No. Do you know what it's like to be 50?
No.
Okay, I know all that.
Okay.
I got it. But Ben's talking about an age that he's never been at. It's hard to be at this age. You've never been there. This is the first time you've gone to your 15th season. So he's already trying to bake in something as if, if I get hurt at this age, this is the time. But just concentrate on the game. He's a brilliant quarterback. Great thrower of the football. Can throw the ball to any parts on the field. And who else, besides a guy who likes to get attention, are we talking about after an offseason where he didn't get hurt? This is a question for a guy who got hurt. Aaron Rodgers.
You're right.
Should we be worried about Aaron Rodgers at this age?
Right.
That would be legitimate. No, Ben didn't get hurt, but Ben is into the drama. I keep trying to tell you guys, and trying to talk to people about some type of fitness. That is not what Ben is there for.
Chris Kenny, did you see anything in Roethlisberger's game last year that makes you think he's either lost a step, that he shouldn't be coming into the season without any concerns at all? I mean, should there be any reason for him whatsoever to either need to take a step back or to hold off a little bit?
Well, I'm not going to look at the performances that I had questions about last year and say that he's regressed as a quarterback, but I'm just understanding where this team is right now and recognizing the landscape of the AFC. If they're going to compete for a championship with a quarterback that's been there and done that twice, then this is the time that they've got to get it done in, because the skill position players that Ben Roethlisberger has at his disposal are arguably amongst the best in the league. Antonio Brown, best wide receiver in the league, arguably. Le'Veon Bell, best running back in the league, arguably. You look at Juju Smith-Schuster, a really good wide receiver. He jumped on the scene last year. When I look at Ben Roethlisberger and the expectations on his team, he's got to help his team get to that next step. I did not see a quarterback that did that in the AFC divisional game against the Jacksonville Jaguars when he had the interception in the first quarter that led directly to a Jacksonville score, a Leonard Fournette touchdown run, and then in the second quarter, the strip sack from Yannick Ngakoue that was ran in for a touchdown by Telvin Smith. Now, they only lost that game by 3 points. That's 14 points right there. So that's directly linked to mistakes that Ben Roethlisberger made on the field. So when I look at where he is right now in his game, I would like to hear a little more urgency in his voice about trying to get this team to compete at the highest levels and win a championship.
Because the window's been open for a long time. We talked about with LeBron it not being open yet unless they make a trade for another superstar. But then the window's been open, and man, now they're close. Last year they lost to Jacksonville twice. All right?
And one of them, he threw 5 interceptions.
New England's got your number.
And threatened to retire.
New England's got your number. But the thing I like about Ben, I like the way he played last season. Based on your question, yeah, I like the way he played. And I like the way he finished the season. Somehow he got re-energized after they had fired Todd Haley. So he was like, hey, I want to play several more years. I like that, but you can't come tiptoeing into the season after that being your end of the season comments.
And I would argue that this is, of all the years, Ben, however many years he has left, whether it's 1, 3, 5, whatever, I would argue this one is going to be his best chance to win a Super Bowl and maybe his most important year left. Here's why. We knew the Steelers had been on a natural progression over the last few years. They missed the playoffs. Then they went to the wild card round. Then they went to the divisional round. Then they went to the AFC Championship game. That led to last year. Last year, they had as much talent as they've ever had. They brought in Juju Smith-Schuster. They still had Martavis Bryant. AB's in the heart of his prime. L. Bell's in the heart of his prime. You have a game against New England that you can win the AFC, get the number one seed in the AFC, essentially. That game is lost, by the way, on a Ben Roethlisberger interception in the end zone. Everyone talks about taking knees or spike the ball, whatever. It's lost there. You then regressed. You lose you lose the playoff game to Jacksonville. You give up the opportunity for the one seed. We don't know if L. Bell's going to be there again. We don't know how long AB is going to be the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Right.
We don't know how much longer, to be honest, Mike Tomlin's going to be there as the second longest tenured coach in football. This is a critical year, maybe the most critical year Ben has left. If there was ever a year he's like, you know what, I'm going to start doing what you said, I'm going to weigh my food, or I'm going to be more judicious about what I do in the offseason. Like, this would be the year, and instead of saying, no, it's actually the opposite. I'm a little older, so I can't be working out as much as I used to, which you know I've always been this gym warrior. Like, it's just bizarre commentary.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Chris, thank you so much.
See you.
As always, are you coming back tomorrow?
No, I'm not coming back tomorrow.
I'm
Get out of here. Go to
All right, then I can officially say, enjoy your time downhill, Ned. We'll see you when we see you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. $10 says he's back tomorrow. Coming up, is the championship window already closing on LeBron in Los Angeles? More First Things First right after this.
Good times begin with the cool, refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea tastes like real iced tea because it's brewed with real iced tea. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Unwind with a twist.
Every time a customer walks through the door, we promise to take care of the car. There's no shortcuts in life. If you're gonna do something, do it right the first time.
Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
With Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape, you can prep any angle quicker and easier. 3M's advanced poly material helps stop paint seepage, and it's easy to remove in one long pull, so you can pull off a better paint job. Scotch Blue Platinum Painter's Tape.
Do your thing. Flee that mask. Seize that moment. Find your inspiration. Extraordinary. Spread your wings. Mazda. Feel alive. Drive a Mazda this summer and chase the sun.
There's little rest for a single dad. Back pain made it hard to sleep and get up on time. Then I found Elite PM.
The only one to combine a safe sleep aid plus the 12-hour pain-relieving strength of Elite.
I'm back.
Elite PM for a better AM.
Tomorrow night on Fox. Victory is live, open in prime time. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Tomorrow night on Fox.
Meet the Jones family. Sucked up, geared up, and ready to tackle anything. And by anything, we mean mosquitoes, of course, because the Joneses sprayed, covered up, and picked light colors. Drain any standing water and avoid tall weeds. That's how they fight the bite and help prevent mosquito-borne disease. You too can keep up with the Joneses and fight the bite. Visit ohio.gov/mosquitoes to find out more.
We're reaching for a specific target audience so we can provide them with implants and give them back their life. We wouldn't be where we are today without Spectrum Reach. When we got back the 5 times return on investment and 3 times more than any other advertising avenue that we've used, we were very happy with the results. To be able to think back 8 years before we started advertising and look at our business and how it's grown, just wouldn't have been possible without Spectrum Reach.
Never stop reaching. Visit SpectrumReach.com.
Jack Links presents Running with Sasquatch. Science says there are 2 ways to live a life. Embrace your wild side, or embrace your "these stretchy pants make me look sporty" side. You eat the protein of Jack Links steaks made with 100% beef, or you become the protein. Because in life, you either run with Sasquatch, or you run from Sasquatch.
Need fast pain relief that won't make a mess? Just pick and roll.
Icy Hot Lidocaine No Mess. Max strength lidocaine penetrates quickly to desensitize aggravated nerves.
No mess. Fast relief. Icy Hot Lidocaine, no mess.
Becca's smile is getting a lot of attention. That's because she goes beyond brushing with Act mouthwash. Act freshens breath and strengthens enamel, protects teeth from harmful acids, and helps prevent cavities. Protect your smile every day. Go beyond brushing with Act.
Back here, first things first, with NBA champion Antoine Walker, we're going viral. Check out Dwayne Wade throw the alley-oop off the glass to his 16-year-old son, Zaire, looking like his old days with LeBron, like father, like son.
Trying to recreate that iconic picture. Zaire didn't go up and get it with one hand like LeBron did in that picture, but one of the most famous NBA photos ever. D-Wade finishes under the basket with his arms out like that. How much fun, man.
Really exciting.
Really cool. And Zaire plays for the same AAU team that Ben Simmons played for. Another NBA guy that I can't remember right now also played for. Yeah, I mean, this is...
Then you go to Georgia.
You said you think he's going to go to Georgia?
Georgia, yeah. That's what Tom Cream is, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what Cream's at, yeah.
Because D-Wade coach D-Wade Marquette. I couldn't place it.
All
right.
Put it together.
Okay, thank you. Antoine Walker.
Is he good enough to play in the NBA?
Wait. Let's stop that. Isn't he only 16 years old?
Yeah.
Like, let's stop all that.
Okay.
Like,
talk about college.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got nervous. I didn't know.
He is taller than I thought, though. He's 6'2" right now.
His hair. Look at that forehead.
No,
Where's that forehead? About 6 foot.
Hey, patience is a virtue. Just ask LeBron James. According to Bleacher Report's Howard Beck, those close to LeBron's decision to move to LA believe it was with the, quote, intent of building something long-term. This refutes the notion that he went to win immediately, or in other words, patience. Antoine Walker, what's the window for LeBron and Lakers to win the title now? Is it this coming year? Does he have more than a year?
No, I think he's going to need a year to build this team. If you look at LeBron and the history of his teams, that obviously when he went to Miami, they went to the finals, but it wasn't a championship team. Obviously, they lost to Dallas. But the roster on that team, they had a lot of old guys, Mike Bibby, Eric Dampier, Jerry Stackhouse that first year. That second year, they acquired Ray Allen, Shane Battier, Norris Cole, championship team. I think now in LA, you're going to have to figure out who's going to be the right pieces around them. I think that's why Magic is signing these guys to one-year deals. Obviously, you want Kawhi Leonard. He needs another star. It's going to be very difficult for him to win a championship without another star. This guy just got swept by Golden State, and obviously lost the year before that in 5. And if you look at those games, we all said he needed some help.
But you're talking about the front end. What about the back end of it? Like, so you're saying it doesn't open for a year. How long can it stay open, though? Because when you're talking about patience, you're talking about how long can LeBron's window stay open once it does?
It depends on what star he gets with him. And then obviously with Kawhi Leonard, it can stay open for 4 or 5 years because you got a guy of his skill level. If he's not able to get one of those, not able to get Kawhi Leonard, is it Kemba Walker? Is it Klay Thompson? Is it one of those guys? You have to make another trade and get a Damian Lillard. So those things come into play. Who's going to be the guy to run with him? And obviously, it's got to be somebody young that can assume a role that can get him 20, 25 points a night. I think he plays better when he has help like that.
Right. Let's look at the career of Magic Johnson and the number of trips that he made to the NBA Finals. It was around him being drafted. Kareem was there. He was already established. But the Lakers have always, Dr. Buss, the late Dr. Buss, Jenny Buss's dad, man, he would go out and get other players to be able to complement that star. The biggest problem with the Lakers was their front office, the mismanagement, and their star in Kobe. People were not flocking to L.A. to be able to play with Kobe Bryant. So we don't know how long the window, with the charisma of Magic and LeBron, this should be a rare time that we see a guy at the end of his career where his window is able to stay open, because they should be able to attract a number of guys. And even at the end of this contract, if LeBron gets real smart, like Tim Duncan, and LeBron say he really want to play with his son or something, like he wants to, man, take less money. Stay there in Los Angeles like Timmy did and keep building this. So, first of all, the window is not even open yet, so can't determine when it's going to shut. before it's determined when it's going to open, because it opens the day they get Kawhi.
Well, so listen, what we can do is recognize that there is no historical precedent for a guy being as good as LeBron was last year in year 15. And so it is hard to draw any type of comparison or conclusion about how long can he stay at this level. People need to understand, LeBron has already played far more minutes and far more games than Larry Bird did, than Magic Johnson did, than Michael Jordan did. Like, he's already, if he never played again, he will have played more basketball at the professional level than those guys. So let's go to the guys whose longevity is the most legendary in this league. Kareem and Karl Malone. Malone gets forgotten because he didn't win a title, but Malone was a top 5 player in this league in year 18. He broke what I did. That's not a record per se, but he set the standard. Kareem had it. He was a top 5 player in year 17, and then he trailed off. He played longer than he trailed off. Malone played 19 years. 19th was not very good. It was with the Lakers, actually. So if the precedent right now is 3 more years, right, at the height of it. And there have always been LeBron, Karl Malone comparisons as far as body type, size. LeBron more skilled, obviously. LeBron, though, didn't play college ball. And technology is a little bit better. So could he still be a top 5 guy in year 20? Like, is that possible? Maybe. Like, this contract's going to take him to year 19 already. So it's, to me, that's a long way to answer your question. How long's the window? If the window with LeBron is the best guy on the team, is this contract.
I think the question is less, can LeBron play at the top of his game for another 1, 2, 3 years, and more what you brought up, which is, can LeBron, unlike Kobe, attract top free agent guys into LA this year, next year, in the window where they're going to have to win and compete against Golden State? Is LeBron that guy that can do it? I mean, we assume yes, but look, we're kind of in that place now. Are people flocking to play with him?
They're not flocking to play with him, but the one thing about
who's free?
But nobody's out there that probably LeBron wants to play with either, that he's actually going after. This is a different, obviously he always said he wanted to play with Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade. He tried that. Obviously not with Chris Paul, but he tried that with Dwayne Wade. They did that. They won some titles. He tried to bring him back. It didn't work. But I think
Paul George?
Yeah,
Paul George, the one guy.
Paul George would have probably been a good guy. And LeBron only fits in with certain type of guys anyway. So I think Kawhi Leonard's the perfect fit right now. That's the goal, to try to get Kawhi. If you don't get him, it's going to be a different road to get back to the finals. We also got to remember, too, we're just saying LeBron James, this will be the most difficult and hardest task for him in his career. He's in the Western Conference now.
Yes,
so it's different. It's, during the season, you can now you can win 50 games and end up with a 4 seed or 5 seed. So you don't want to play Golden State the second round. You may end up playing them in the second round. That's the type of. So LeBron has to come up and speak out on who he wants on his team. He has to build a team. We know it's going to take a year for him to build the right pieces around him to be able to battle against Golden State. He hasn't been successful these last 2 years with the team he had in Cleveland, so he can't do it with mediocre guys. He has to get another superstar and the right pieces to go against possibly 5 All-Stars. It was already tough enough against 4. Now you got to go against 5.
And what we've also seen, though, and this is where the window can potentially stay open once it does open longer, is when LeBron hasn't been playing in Cleveland, I'm not talking superstars, complementary pieces have not only wanted to come play for him, but play for him at a discount. Like when he's in those 4 years in Miami, the ability to fill out the roster was there. Now, it wasn't there as much in Cleveland. Cleveland, you have to trade for Korver. But part of that's the city of Cleveland. He's now in a more attractive place than Miami. He's in Los Angeles. The reason that Magic, I think, this year it's only 1-year deals is assuming they do add another star. The guys that, not the Boogie Cousins level, but guys that will take less money to play for a mid-level. Guys that might want to, what Jamal Crawford's going to end up doing somewhere this offseason, which probably take the veterans minimum based on ability to win, lifestyle. Those types of guys, Los Angeles will be at the top or near the top of their list.
Another thing, playing in the Western Conference is messed up because in the East you can take a night off. LeBron can take a night off. In the West, you got to go play Utah. That's not going to be a night off. The Portlands of the world.
Yes.
So you got to play them. So LeBron's got to exert even more energy this year than he had to do last year just to be a playoff team. But he does have some younger pieces, some younger guys that are young and athletic that he didn't have, obviously, in Cleveland.
Antoine, thanks so much for hanging out today. Much appreciated. Coming up, is Big Ben about to pull a LeBron? We'll explain. Next. First things first.
It's Ketta's birthday. He's on one on the teases today. Happy birthday, Ketta.
Did you know my dander could contribute to poor indoor air quality? And I ate one of your shoes.
Filtrete Healthy Living filters with exclusive 3M filtration technology help capture the small particles others can't. Keep the dog. Change your filter. Filtrete. Let's clear the air.
No matter who rides point, there are over 10,000 Allstate agents riding sweep. And just like Tyrone Taylor, they know what it takes to help keep you protected. Are you in good hands?
Why build a new high-tensile steel chassis just to lower the driving position 10 millimeters? Because when you're crafting performance, no measure is too extreme. The Lexus LC and LC Hybrid. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Nothing gets the family's full attention like my freshly prepared chicken. The delicious KFC $20 fill-up with 8 pieces of extra crispy chicken and sides will surely get your kids off their phones. And they may even look at you, their loving parent. KFC, it's finger looking good.
Oh.
Truck to do binge-watching stuff? So get some Firestone tires and go do truck stuff. Try Firestone tires for 30 days. If you don't love them, we'll refund or replace. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Major League Soccer on Fox and FS1.
Hey, this is a screamer!
Saturday after the World Cup, LAFC goes head-to-head with Orlando City.
An absolute strike.
Sunday on FS1, it's a rivalry rematch. Play goal! As David Villa and NYCFC are out for revenge against Haku and the Red Bulls. Major League Soccer, Saturday at 4:30 Eastern on Fox, Sunday at 7 on FS1.
Did you know the extra dust I kick up can contribute to poor indoor air quality? Ow.
Filtrete Healthy Living filters with exclusive 3M filtration technology help capture the small particles others can't. Keep the robot vacuum. Change your filter. Filtrete. Let's clear the air.
The best of the best go head-to-head on the biggest night of the summer. The MLB All-Star Game, July 17th on Fox.
This is the era of digital possibility, when every connection is an opportunity to do more, to build a network of human progress, where every fiber-lit building, enterprise, and city we connect lays the foundation to our digital economy. Join us as we turn the promise of technology into digital progress. Together, Spectrum Enterprise.
One incredible night of rock and blues with 2 Grammy Award-winning guitarists. Buddy Guy.
Put my head down to my shoes.
And Johnny Lang. July 11th, Rose Music Center at the Heights. Reserve seat tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and RoseMusicCenter.com. The real deal. Buddy Guy and Johnny Lang together live.
We're going to get to Big Ben in a second, but first, new Lakers signing Lance Stevenson. Playing against guys much less talented.
Wait for my guy. Wait for my guy. Hold on.
Sí, coordinator nada.
Ready and yeah, there he is. There's my guy. Just hanging out near the 3-point line. He's got the one NBA player in the gym on his team. He's just waiting for the moment. I like it. That's great. I don't even care about the Williams dunk. I like the celebration.
All right, check this out. This is Zaire Wade. This is G-Wade's 16-year-old son with a little step-back jumper over Knicks guard Tim Hardaway playing NBA guys.
Oh, that's nice. He's been a rising star as far as 16 and under. Looking forward to... Where's he playing high school basketball? I wonder if he's in Miami. He's in Southern California. I don't know what high school. Oh, they moved to California with his wife. Oh, okay. Because they were in Miami full time with D-Wade. Oh, okay. I thought they were in Southern Florida. I thought you were right there.
Play with LeBron next year.
But regardless, that is one NBA, one Miami Heat legend son going up against another Miami Heat legend son. Yeah, Tim already got one son in the NBA. Right, absolutely. Well, no, that is the son. That's Tim Hardaway Jr. That's Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh, really? Oh, man, I got you. Don't worry about it. You're all good.
Last we have Major League Baseball. Cam Ronston of the Brewers wearing 23. Here's how you know. Watch him go up and get it like a different number 20.
Look at that. Look at that. Amazingly, this isn't the best home run grab steal of the week because the one we had earlier in the week, the guy ran up the wall, I think, in Toronto. Straightaway center. This is a hell of a play right here.
Yeah, you're always surprised when they're able to bring him back into the yard, but I ain't surprised the dude got a name Keon wearing number 23. I knew that. I mean, ain't a whole bunch of Keons in Major League Baseball. My man is representing the Stars and Stripes on 4th of July, too. Check him out. Oh, on his socks, bro. We're doing a little stars on the right. We're doing stripes on the left.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
All right, time to take your pick. Want to play?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ben Roethlisberger. Yes, be careful at the start of his 15th season. Say, quote, it's a fine line I walk at this age. Another quarterback looking to get done at the age of 36 is LA Chargers' Phillip Rivers. So which quarterback will have a better season in year 15? Big Ben or Rivers? CC, take your pick.
I'm going with Phillip Rivers, and I'm also going with team success.
San Diego. It used to be the Chargers, but now they known as LA. Sometimes they
are a team that will be reckoned with in the AFC. A lot of talent. They got one of the most talented rosters, top to bottom. Phillip Rivers gets it done. Mike Williams bounces back from that bad back. Man, I'm looking for San Diego to shake up some stuff in the AFC. Nick.
Wow. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the team. I get it, but because of the team, I'm on the other side of it because I'm a big believer in the talent on Pittsburgh. They're going to have Le'Veon Bell for at least one more year. Listen, Keenan Allen's a really good player. Mike Williams, they drafted him because they think he will be. Neither one of them is Antonio Brown. Juju is a spectacular is too strong, a very good young wide receiver. So for all those reasons, even though I kind of like Phillip Rivers' disposition more than Big Ben, and he ain't got the best disposition, I'm betting on Big Ben.
Pittsburgh's defense is in San Diego. They play defense like the steel curtain. Pittsburgh defense.
Bosa, Ingram, excellent.
All right, moving on. Nick Foles came on our show and said he's comfortable being a backup in Philadelphia. But with Jameis Winston facing a 3-game suspension, reports are the Bucs could target Foles in a trade. So which is a better option for Nick Foles this season? Eagles backup or Bucs starter? Nick, take your pick.
I'm going to say Eagles backup for this reason. I think that the Bucs, the head coach and the GM in Tampa know that if they end up moving on from Jameis, they are moving on from that head coach and GM. So if you come in to replace Jameis for 3 games, the people in power are going to want every reason to then replace you. And let's say they don't replace you. Then the head coach and GM are getting fired, and the new coach is going to want to bring his own quarterback. So for all those reasons, this is one of the examples of where the starting job's not better than the backup job. I say Eagles backup.
Yeah, I'm going with Eagles backup because I believe that Jameis is going to be a better player than Nick Foles will be. I believe Jameis is ceiling is high. There's a lot of people disappointed in Jameis, and being the starter in the NFL, it's a tremendous, tremendous goal. But, man, right now where he is, he's happy. All right, and I don't believe that Tampa Bay's looking for a starting quarterback, so back up in Philadelphia.
All right, moving on to hoops. Chris Maddox is reporting that the Celtics should be scared that Kyrie is bolting after this season, with the Knicks being a potential landing spot. So which is a more likely team for Kyrie Irving in 2019? Celtics or Knicks? CC, take your pick.
Well, we're in the NBA, man. The guys don't want to compete. So if Kyrie don't want to compete, then he would go to the Knicks. Because right now, they're not competing for anything. It's a different type of not wanting to. Well, I'm just saying the guys don't want to compete. So, man, of course he's going to go to the Knicks. But I just believe that there are going to be guys that are going to continue to be super teams. Kyrie Irving is part of the making of a super team. Keep him in Boston. That's where I'd like to see him. I believe he reaches his potential in Boston under Brad Stevens with these other collection of players.
I think you might be right. The best thing for Kyrie's career is to stay in Boston. But you can make a strong argument. The best thing for Kyrie's career would have been to play at least one more year with LeBron in Cleveland. He seems to be dead set on New York. Also, the possibility of being able to team up with Jimmy Butler in New York, who will also be a free agent next best offseason. For all those reasons, most likely place for Kyrie, not the best place necessarily, but most likely place in 2019. I moved to New York City with the Knicks.
So there's a lot of bars where you just have to be flattered people to come and
Exactly right. Basketball, he'd be the captain of that society.
According to A.J. Wojnarowski, despite making it clear he only wants to play in L.A., Kawhi is reportedly somewhat hesitant to join the Clippers and reportedly doesn't want to be dwarfed by LeBron in the same city with the Lakers. So which Los Angeles option is better for Kawhi, Lakers or Clippers? Nick, take your pick.
This is very easy and obvious. It's the Lakers. Like there is, I understand that his reporting is correct. He did not demand a trade in the Lakers. He demanded a trade in the city of Los Angeles. But the Lakers have the history.
Please subscribe.
I think they are clearly more attractive for Asian destination. And oh yeah, they have LeBron James. For all those reasons, there's a no-brainer to me. It's the Lakers.
Yeah, it's not as if you have all these real different practice facilities. Their arenas are different. Like they were playing in the old place. Lakers are playing in the shiny new place. No, they just changed things. NBA 82 games. We're going to shoot 41 for y'all. The Clippers.
41 for y'all.
All of y'all playing in the same so it's a great place to play, but there's more assets. LA has prepared itself, the Lakers, for this run of free agents in 18 and 19. Better prepared than the Clippers.
All right, well, say the Lakers. Joey Chestnut scarfed down a record 74 hot dogs. When his 11th, and he finished hot dog team championship yesterday. CC watching live. He now joins the likes of Celtics great Bill Russell on a short list of athletes with 11 titles. So who has the better championship resume, Joey Chestnut or Bill Russell? How will pick the pick? What about peristalsis? Isn't there some sort of athletic sense of food is the involuntary action where your food is pushed down your esophagus?
I don't know your esophagus an athlete. It's working. It's inside of the athlete inside of there.
Burning calories.
I'm going with Bill Russell. I got a lot of respect for Bill Russell. Matter of fact, if I went on national TV, I feel like Bill Russell did. They introduced him to Charles Barkley. Right now, Joey Chestnut. That's how I feel. Those in sports who know, they know what it is.
I have amazing respect for Bill Russell. One of the greatest champions ever. One of the greatest sportsmen ever. He won 11 out of 13 championships. You know what's better than that? 11 out of 12 championships for Joey Chestnut. Also, Bill Russell never had a tough competitor like Kobayashi that Joey Chestnut had to team for. I know Black Widow from the old 9-ball competitions. Actually, Sonya Thomas, she's also Black Widow. I didn't know about the women's competitive eaters. I do know that Joey Chestnut's had a deeper field of competition. Joey Chestnut's had a longer reign. I would argue with Joey Chestnut doing his run. So I say Joey Chestnut. Arguably, I mean, it's him and Federer, the greatest champions of my life.
Him and Federer, Nick.
That's how
definitely. You know I have an issue with the technique. I just feel like you can eat it better than having to...
Well, you can't eat it better than 74 and 10 minutes. But
you can eat it more aesthetically pleasing. How about that?
I don't think that's what they're going for.
All right.
They should let them do it.
I agree. Yeah, y'all tell me what's pleasing about a man shoving hot dog in his mouth on national TV with two
One-handed, one-handle. Coming up, are the Pelicans better off without Boogie Cousins? That's next.
See you next year, Joey Chestnut.
Contribute to more indoor air quality.
Filtering healthy living filters with exclusive 3M filtration technology help capture the small parts others can't. Keep the dog. Change your filter. Filtering puts clear the air.
Drive a Firestone. Some things should never change, like the crisp, cold refreshment of Bush. But some things should, like Frank's camp songs. Belly buttons are funny. Are you an innie or an outie? What do you got? Innie. Tell me what you got. Outie. Tell me what you got. Innie. You've got 3 innies and only 1 outie. What are the chances? Yeah, well.
The moment
moment you realize your half bath needs your full attention.
At Lowe's, we'll help you turn the bathroom you have into the one you've always wanted.
Lowe's 4th of July savings continue with up to 40% off select bath essentials.
First things first, it's time for your World Cup wake-up. Belgium found themselves facing a 2-goal deficit in the round of 16 versus Japan, but 3 goals in 25 minutes, including the winner, with just seconds left in stoppage time, set up a heavyweight quarterfinal matchup with Neymar and tournament favorite Brazil. The FIFA World Cup quarterfinals start Friday on FS1. It's Uruguay, France at 9 a.m. and Brazil, Belgium at 1. Both of them are must-sees. Both of them will require you to do nothing but watch TV.
Listen, the Uruguay-France matchup, I'm letting you know right now, like, there will be an amazing storyline coming out whoever we're taking. Either Luis Suarez, who you remember 2 World Cups ago, they're playing, I think it's Ghana, I might be wrong who they're playing, but whoever they're playing, he illegally taps the ball out to save the game. It's a handball. They end up winning in penalty kicks. That was considered disgraceful by soccer standards. Then the last World Cup, he bites a dude. He now has Uruguay on the precipice of the semifinal. That's if Uruguay wins. If France wins, Mbappe will be the story of the tournament. And then there's Brazil and Belgium. You've been talking about Belgium, this entire tournament, how good they've looked. They're yet to lose a game, even in the group stage. And then Brazil the favorites. Like, what an amazing day.
Yeah, this Brazil team is totally different than the Brazil teams. No, they're fancy with their footwork, great at passing the ball. But in this World Cup, they've had 4 matches. In 3 of those matches, they've not given up the goal. 8 of the last 9, 3 of the last 4. My daughter was a great goalie at a high level. I used to tell her, maybe they won't win if they can't score. So Brazil, they shut people out.
And they're trying to remember the way the World Cup ended last time. 6 goals to Germany in the semifinal in a tournament that was in Brazil, a disgraceful exit. They're still trying to make up.
All right, time for some stories to start your morning app, brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. The Steelers and Le'Veon Bell have 11 days to lock down a long-term deal. 11 days. Former Pittsburgh running back Jerome Bettis weighed in, saying Le'Veon is, quote, not going to be good going somewhere else. CC, does Bettis have a point there that Bell wouldn't be quite as good elsewhere?
Well, quite as good. I think that's what Jerome Bettis is saying, because of the numbers that he's compiled are amazing. Not only his rushing the ball out of the backfield, but his ability to be able to catch the ball in space. But what Jerome is really talking about, because I really respect Jerome's opinion, he's really up on this. Since Le'Veon Bell has been in the league, a surprising stat, 5 years in the league, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense has played 65% of the time in 3 receiver sets. So that makes a soft defense. You can't stack the defense. You can't play your normal 43 or your 34. You're either playing nickel or dime, which Jenna is telling me, man, Chris, that means 5 or 6 defensive backs.
That's exactly.
Which for a running back's ideal. So Jerome is saying he would be as good somewhere else. And listen, Zeke wouldn't be as good without that offensive line. Zeke's a great player. So he is in a perfect situation. Just like Antonio Brown, I think, is in a near perfect situation. That's why the Steelers have to. If they're not going to sign him a long-term deal, if this is going to be his last year there, they have enormous pressure to get it done this season.
And Jerome has a lot of respect for L. Bell and his ability. The bus wouldn't have been the bus if they wouldn't have been able to get in the red zone and get all those first down opportunities, touchdown opportunity, first and goals. Yep, that's the bus run.
Yesterday we discussed the possibility of Damian Lillard being dealt to the Lakers to team up with LeBron. Well, a fan asked Lillard if he'd be happy with a deal to LA, to which he responded, quote, "I'm typically a happy camper." CC, could Lillard and LeBron compete for a title?
There's no doubt. He's been battling in the West. Him and C.J. McCollum, and C.J. joined him several years ago, and they're a dynamic duo in the backcourt. But they know. He knows he's going against Golden State. And there's most players in the NBA, they want to play with LeBron because their skill sets do that.
But you don't think Lillard would be you add Lillard to this Lakers team, they're title contenders right now. Right? Okay.
No, there's no NBA team with 2 premier players that are title contenders.
Right. In today's league. Exactly right. That's what's so frustrating me about Golden State. For the entirety of NBA history.
ये मसला पे है ये मसला
एक जो लोग तक नहीं होने वाला पीछे ये गेम पिछोड़ ही दौड़ने में पीछे वीडियो कॉल एम छोड़े की सोची
ये म्यूजिक भाई
हैं
आवाज
ये किया MP3 वाला नहीं
M4 है म्यूजिक वीडियो प्लेस कौन गान बना के रिफ्रेश करना
तू वाची में ये लिखो लीटी
I'm gonna play mobile.
कौन कर रहा है
ओए
क्या
आने ठीक
ये देखते हो यो
मोबाइल रोल में बाहर दिन तक क्या हुआ है
मैसेज करने लगा सीधा ही गया no connection
उसमें वीडियो बंद हो गई क्या कहना है लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो गई
लाइव स्ट्रीम होनी चाहिए
कैन वाचिंग
व्हाट तो फोन है
बंद हो गया कुछ और नहीं खोल
उसमें बंद हो गई शीशे फोन तो था बीच वीडियो जाने दो ये का
बैक करे थल्ले नहीं खोली छोड़ तो ही तोड़े को एकदम टन वाचिंग हो गई
this video is unbelievable we see ये कितने सैम sit down कहाँ से बोल रहे थल्ला ये जो किसी ने
Your point guard, but he's not Kyrie Irving. Like to think that they're a better team without him? No. But does he want to play with these young Celtics? And I just think as an organization, they are better. We're in a different time in the NBA. If Kyrie's done competing for championships for a long time, then he should go to the Knicks. But if he's serious about adding to that 2015 resume, if he wants to get beyond being the last time he was in the limelight with LeBron James, then I would stay in Boston with that young collection of talent. And I believe that Danny Ainge and the coach Brad Stevens will push you as a good player so that you can maintain that greatness. The pressure of playing with a great organization and have great players around you. I believe that type of pressure will bring out the best in Kyrie compared to bring out the best.
Listen, again, it's a different NBA. Like, if you're Kyrie, in years past, up until a couple of years ago, you could think realistically, yeah, we're great here, but I go to the Knicks, Chris Stapps is an up-and-coming player, plus Jimmy Butler, me and Jimmy Butler, could be maybe modern-day Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. Like, let us go see what we can do. That's not today's NBA. Like, not as long as the Warriors are the roadblock everyone has to go through, so to win championships, he's in the best position of anyone that anyone can be with that coach, that team, and in Boston. If I'm Boston, though, and I think he might be leaving, if I'm winning, what are my most, like, my number one asset in Boston is Jason Tatum. You could argue the number two asset is actually this unprotected Kings pick they have coming that's only protected for number one overall. And then I think there'd be a real discussion about Hayward or Kyrie. Chris makes a great point that Kyrie's the only guy in the league other than LeBron that could walk into a finals with Golden State, look those guys in the eye and say, I beat you. That maybe can strike a little bit of fear into Steph Curry. That's a really good point. Hayward, on the other hand, he's a wing, which is the direction the league's going. He is on a longer-term contract, and I know it sounds weird to shatter his leg. I don't have the injury concerns going over Hayward like that I do the guy who's had multiple knee procedures. The best way for the Celtics to keep Kyrie is to make the NBA Finals and upset the Clippers. Like to make or for Kyrie to experience. Here's one thing Kyrie hasn't experienced: playing in a playoff game. Maybe that's something where you can, man, I played some big games in Cleveland and Oracle. Like, this is unlike, I mean, I've been to games there at the, whatever it's called now, TV Garden. That is a special crowd. That is a crowd. We saw how good they were at home this postseason. Like, Boston can't, though, preemptively trade. If he walks for nothing, he walks for nothing. They've got to run this team in full strength.
They can, because they
can. I don't think they should. I think
it's in their best interest.
It's in their best interest. Go try to make the finals.
It's very, very rare to win a championship, but don't punt before the game starts. And that's what I believe they would be doing with Golden State. Absolutely.
All right, let's go on to football. Back to the NFL. Nick Foles has gone from second-string quarterback to Super Bowl MVP, Philadelphia legend, back to second-string quarterback. Not the most common story, but it does have a bit of a fairy tale feel to it. And while most fairy tales end with a happily ever after, this one's just happening. Nick Foles says he's totally happy with his first back.
Loading होने बंद गया ना
लोडिंग वही सारे मैसेज आते हैं नेट पे भी करना चाहिए
What do you make of Nick's comments, Chris?
No, I totally understand. Like, he's a guy that he was a high draft pick. So he's coming into the league with a lot of attention. Anytime you draft in those first 3 rounds, you already got a high draft pick. He's been a starter. He's won a starting job. He's even had success in the league. mentality. I really do get it because being a backup in a winning organization is a heck of a lot better than getting pounded every week and every newspaper articles about you. Every day they're on Twitter banging on you. So I understand where he's been.
Even if you haven't been that, I think everyone can relate to this. If you are content, if you are happy with your current situation, you are only leaving it for an ideal situation, as opposed to being miserable or unhappy where you're at, where any opportunity comes your way, you're going to take it.
This is the big difference. When you have another job, you can be unhappy, but you're not getting tackled.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Like your life ain't being risked, like you're not being beat up. You might physically be exhausted, things like that. Your energy, you don't want to be around people, but you don't have people chasing after you. Like it's just
what's life like for a starting quarterback on a bad team?
It sucks. It sucks because regardless of what game plan they put in, you're like, man, do we really have a chance to win? And who wants to be blamed? I don't know anybody that wants to be blamed right now. And when you are a bad quarterback in this NFL, that guy gets all the credit, but you're losing, so he's getting all the blame.
And that doesn't even speak to, I'm sorry to interrupt you, just the blame. Typically, if you're a bad team, the quarterback's getting crushed. You're losing all the time, so you got to throw a line. You probably don't have a great offensive line. And just the physical toll. Everyone that plays football takes physical toll. The starting quarterback on bad.
There's a reason why they pay them that amount of money. They earn it, and they need to. They get hit more. They touch the ball every play, which no other player do. And there's no player required to know the amount of information that the quarterbacks have to know. We get it.
So the opposite, what would be the ideal situation for Nick Foles if he did want to be a starter? What, a team just has a great offensive line, successful.
I think it's about the coach and the GM a lot. Which is one of the reasons he doesn't mind making these comments, where he says some teams are going to take these comments and not want to. Well, I don't want to play for that type of stuff. Like a quarterback that our coach and staff understands who he is as a person.
Yeah, I would say organizations that have some wherewithal that they don't have to rush. If Kirk Cousins hadn't signed with the Vikings and signed Case Keenum to a one-year deal, after this year, Nick Foles would have been a great fit in Minnesota.
Okay.
Even in Washington, I don't know what Alex Smith's going to do. Playing in a good division, got support of a good owner, that would be a very good situation. Philip Rivers decided he didn't want to play football anymore. That organization would be a good organization.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, did the Warriors just make a big mistake signing DeMarcus Cousins? That's next on First Things First.
जिन्हें 131 तकनीक इसमें दिहाड़ा पड़ेगा
दिहाड़ा चल रहा है 14 मिनट चला
तो मैंने कितने
और 14.5
सोच रहे हैं मैंने कितने किए सब्सक्राइब लाइक बनाना अगर चैनल सब्सक्राइब लगे उसमें तो साथ ऑपरेशन नहीं बस मैं खत्म नहीं हुआ चला लोग लाइव में साथ चलेगा ये बस ना खुलना खुली बदला सी 250 ऊपर गया सर लाइव चैट खोतिया चले कोना Australian के बारे में उसमें ऊपर है उसमें थोड़ा सा ऊपर है कुछ नहीं बोलना है पता नहीं इसने मेरे लोग चोरी से चले गए ये भैया ओके ये
Welcome back to First Things First. Undisputed come up at 9:30 sharp. Holly, good morning to you. What are you and the guys talking about today? Hey, good morning, Shannon. Undisputed come up at 9:30
with the Lakers and is Jason Garrett already on the hot seat in Dallas. Plus, Matt Barnes, Chris Broussard, and Mark Schlereth all are with us in studio. Undisputed coming up next. Jen and Nick and Chris, I trust you had a 4th of July just as special as Jimmy Chestnut. Joey Chestnut.
Also, brother, they both had great ones. We had tons of indigestion, so we did indeed. Holly, thank you so much. Sounds like a great show. We're going viral here. Rays outfielder Carlos Gomez went over through the strikeout yesterday to bring his average to 195 on this season, and I guess you could say he was just a wee bit frustrated. Check it out. Nope, not done. Not done. Not done. Come on, get it.
1.5 करोड़
Get it. Get it.
If I know anything about my partner Chris Carter, you are not into these types of displays. These types of histrionics in the dugout, locker room, sideline, whatever it is. Showing everyone you're frustrated just to show everyone you're frustrated. Am I reading that correctly, Chris Carter?
I mean, you just had a chance to go to baseball. You had a chance to hit that. This is stupid. I thrown a helmet a few times, and every time after I threw it, I was like, I need that to protect my life. Like, that was dumb.
I gotta go big man.
Yeah, like, that's... What am I talking about? Beating up on me? Yeah.
In baseball, you had some tough ones. Remember, like Paul O'Neill, like ripped over that Culligan bottle.
Yeah, but I feel like this is the thing in baseball. Guys like to pull down the bats and hit the phone.
Who hit the phone? Wasn't it,
The guys break their hands punching.
Yeah, Big Poppy.
I guess one went out his hand punching a wall in the NBA Finals. Big Poppy did what now?
Yeah, no, it's okay. Okay, let us get back to the NBA so we can focus our frustration on that. We are learning more about DeMarcus Cousins' exit from New Orleans. Keep in mind, the Pelicans played well after he went down with that season-ending Achilles injury. They only lost in the second round to the Warriors. Reports are that if Anthony Davis wanted Boogie back, Boogie would most likely be back. AD reportedly enjoyed the style that Pelly's played without Cousins, as well as the environment in the locker room. Nick, are you surprised that Davis wouldn't want Cousins back in New Orleans?
Yeah, I'm surprised, and I also don't fully believe. I don't think. Listen, I do believe that if Anthony Davis thought it was mandatory to have him, I do think because Coach knows that he has to keep Anthony Davis happy, that unlike when they fired Monty Williams, Anthony Davis is now approaching the end of his contract, that there are reasons to make sure he's in good spirits. I do think that Anthony Davis had the power to go to them and say, do anything necessary to keep Boogie Cousins. And I don't think he did that. But I don't think that means he wanted to go. And by the way, from all reports, the Pelicans offered him a contract after the injury. I don't think he was more of a distraction once he was hurt. So whatever locker room stuff was going on, was already baked into the 2 years, $40 million offer they made him. And they talked to him
Like we need to stop some of this stuff. The players can't control the roster. Boogie, he's made his own resume. And the thing about the locker room, I don't believe that, because you know what the best locker rooms are in sports? The ones that are winning. They happen to be winning. At the end of the season, they were winning. And in the playoffs, they won a series. So the atmosphere still might have been better, but it wasn't because Boogie left. It was because the team was winning. Listen, it's a weird thing that we do in response, which is we have a lot of information. We can't just disregard pieces. Some of the information we have from the reporters in New Orleans is that New Orleans is still in talks with Boogie Cousins when he called the Warriors. Now, again, I think it's very clear New Orleans understood they might not get him back, understood they might lose him for nothing, and they were okay with it. They knew they were running that risk. It's one of the reasons they brought in Julius Randle before Boogie was officially gone. They knew it was a possibility. So I do think that Anthony Davis was briefed on this, because I do think in the NBA, unlike the other sports, you run most of these things by, if you have a top 5 player in the world, top 8 player in the world, you run things by him. But ultimately, like, what happened here was something no one saw coming. No one thought Boogie was going to make this quick of a decision, because there was no formula to know that Boogie was going to win. There was no formula to know Boogie was going to win.
It seemed like
that's all he did. I mean, that's what he did. He didn't sign this deal the last day of the summer. You don't sign it on the first or second day of free agency, a deal that you know you can get with most teams. And as we saw more information, this deal was offered by
Why? Is it just to go get a title?
Ego. No, disappointment and ego.
Ego calling up another team and saying, I'd like to play you. Wouldn't the other way around be the way to...
No, not when you're joining the best team in the world. And he's getting ready to say, I'm getting ready to be on the national stage. I'm getting ready to do everything I haven't done. You guys say I ain't playing a playoff game? Oh, bam! I'm on the best team ever created. So, no, this is the way you do it. That's why he talks about, I don't know if he knew what he was doing, said, oh, this is my chest. Really realizing those were checkers. They were black.
Like Phillips.
Because the Pelicans, they only offered him 2 for 20. The phone was not ringing off the hook with big offers. So he had 20 for 2. Yes. Boogie, you got to keep in mind the timeline of this one. He had qualified for the Supermax in Sacramento. He didn't want to be traded. They didn't trade him. Now, he can't even get the Supermax. Which, by the way, you can lock in a year early. If Sacramento doesn't trade him a year ago, he qualified for the Supermax. Doesn't matter if he blows his Achilles. He got $200 million coming to him. That doesn't happen. He then goes to New Orleans. He's on his best behavior. He's playing on the best team he's ever played on. Developed the three-point shot. He suffers the single worst injury a big man can suffer. And then the league doesn't say, all right, we trust you're going to be healthy. Something's wrong with your bench. Instead, there's no offer he loves. So what is his response when he called his chest? I'm going to make, you know what? I'm going to take it out for the entire NBA season. Because whatever hope in Houston, you didn't want me. Guess what? You're done. Boston, you didn't want me. Lakers are done. Lakers, guess what? Here you go. Here's the deal. I'm going to go to Golden State and remove all the suspense from the year. And so I understand, like, he is a curmudgeon. This is what a nice thing about. So I understand why teams would be hesitant. For Golden State, though, and this is going to be so frustrating for me as a basketball fan, since they don't need him, there's nothing bad he can do, short of accidentally injuring a teammate, like when Zaza fell into KD. Like, if he is a bad dude in the locker room, let's get rid of him. Like, they don't right, he takes up what the money that you were going to get to Aaron Baines. Like, so there's one organization. Can he continue that? Can he keep that momentum off the court? Is the most important thing. I believe that's more important than as a killer.
And he now goes to Golden State. If he's going to act logically, he knows it is not about the numbers anymore. It honestly isn't even about the success of the team, because that's almost baked in. It's just about, can I show up healthy, and can the Golden State club rub off on me? Because the league knows a 27-year-old like 25 and 12
I know it's like 3 to 5.
Yes, I did. Like it, sir. Someone undisputed the last day. Like 3 o'clock, first time since. Only way, but yeah.
Did you say LeBron is? That's what it reminded me.
My backyard. The one that you gave for my birthday.
Okay, glad to have everybody back. Let's get right into it, guys. Let's start with the always outspoken LeVar Ball. LeBron agreed to become a Laker on Sunday, and Rajon Rondo agreed to a one-year deal on Monday. Now we've heard from LeVar Ball. LeVar called Rondo, quote, just another teammate, a little backup.
240 is now 360.
He went on to say that he never worries about competition because the Suns are better than that. LeVar then added that Lonzo will make LeBron better, said Lonzo is a better fit for the King than Kyrie Irving. Take a listen.
Lonzo's not 6'1", 6'2" like Kyrie. Lonzo's not ball dominant. He just dribbling the ball. You watch him try to do a crossover and make a layup.
Shannon, is LeVar right about Lonzo fitting better with LeBron than Kyrie did?
Give me just a little context with this, because LeVar just like to throw out these broad general statements. Listen, first of all, Lonzo is not the opposite talent that Kyrie is. Well, obviously. So he's going to be unselfish with the ball and give it up because he can't score the basketball. It's very scored some. He can't score like Kyrie. LeBron is the one guy that has a high assist total that can score the basketball. Because think about it, you get 27 minutes, he averaged 27 points. He averaged 7.3 for a career. He also 7-8 assists for a career. So we don't know he got John Stockton averaged, what, 10, 11 assists, but he's only 14, 13, one a night score. So we see how he's going. Yeah. Maybe he's running for the Greek perfect. Because Lonzo has the ball to get LeBron said, I've never been able to play off the ball as much as I would like. So I would like to have someone that can facilitate the offense, take me off the ball, so now I can just go get buckets. I don't really have to worry about everybody else. You know, give everybody else the ball. So Lonzo, because he's not he's more likely to pass the ball up, so he doesn't view himself currently still is on LeBron level, where Kyrie says, bro, I'm just as good as you, especially on this. I can go get buckets. So let me tell you one thing that Lonzo Ball can't do that Kyrie can't. He can't go get the buckets. He can't get
not yet. I mean, maybe something. You don't know. I saw him get 29 one night at Phoenix in the second NBA game he ever played. He's for the record. That's pretty good.
Rondo is a proven commodity. 8.5 assists for a career, 9.3 in the playoffs. Against the second league in assists, 3 different occasions. He's been a starting point guard for the championship team. Battle, test. That's John Bob Lonzo Ball, John. There's no way in hell inside for John Rondo. They know Rondo is battle tested. LeBron James loves guys, high basketball athletes, battle. Because you are an unproven commodity, Lonzo, LeBron is what you can see. Because he's an unproven commodity, you keep telling us how great he is, how great he's going to be. The Lakers have us, might be thinking otherwise.
Yeah, I don't even know if Lonzo's going to be a Laker game 1 next year. I have no idea. It feels like he's on the front burner to be traded. That's what it feels like.
Well, that's a topic that we're going to talk about a little later.
We'll get to that later. There are 2 distinct issues going on here, and I'm going to go back to issue number 1, which is how Kyrie fit with LeBron versus how Lonzo will.
Right.
Just remember, every time LeVar opens his mouth and makes a strategic basketball point, there's some wisdom in it. There's always some to very much truth in what he says about strategic basketball, about how his son plays strategic basketball. When he says his son has a special gift of passing the basketball, he is exactly right about that. I'm going to remind you how hard it was for LeBron and Kyrie to figure each other out from the start. Remember that first few games back in 2014? Yeah. I do. I watch everyone. I live and die with this. But I remember that game early. It was the 4th game they played together at Utah. When they clashed for the first time, they lost by 2 on a Gordon Hayward buzzer beater. And Kyrie had 34 in that game, and he had exactly 0 assists. And he later divulged that LeBron pulled him aside in the locker room and, as he called it, sunned him or lectured him and said, "You will never again playing with me have 0 assists because we can't win that way."
Right.
So after that, he began to be strict. But Kyrie isn't the passer, LeBron is. So they had to kind of figure out new roles. And LeBron had to sacrifice scoring LeBron for scoring Kyrie.
He did.
And he did. And I give him high marks for that because it was hard on LeBron to say, okay, every once in a while, I just got to go stand over here like we saw Lonzo do about half the time last year and just let the side clear and let Kyrie do his thing, man. And he can do it.
Do his and one to it, yes.
Go do your and one. Go do your ISO. Go do the side clear.
Yeah.
Just take it. Cross over, as Lamar said. And get to the basket or pull up or whatever you do. And to LeBron's credit, he stood and watched a whole lot of that, and it worked. And by the way, they won a championship together. Michael got suspended, but that was a whole other issue. But they
did. Had Kyrie doing what he did last year.
Yeah, and that first year in 2014, they were in position to beat Golden State the first time around. That was with no KD, obviously, and Kyrie wrecked his knee in overtime in game 1, and Kevin Love was already out. So there went that. But the point is that even though they figured it out, I do think that Lonzo could be figured out very quickly for LeBron. But you're going to have to tell me, what does LeBron want at this stage of his career? Because if he wants to, let's do this. Let's do the hypothetical. If he decides he wants to win the scoring title next year with Lonzo, he can do that. Because Lonzo will facilitate that like nobody can. And remember, if LeBron happens, let's just do the hypothetical. If he breaks through and outscores, let's see, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. James Harden won it this year with 30 point, 1 or 2. So let's say, because LeBron finished 3rd in scoring this year. What if he averages 32 a game? Could he with Lonzo next year? Sure. Could he take 10 more shots a game than he did? He took 19 shots. Could he take 6 or 8 more shots with Lonzo? Sure he could. Okay, so if he wins the scoring title next year, he would do it deeper in his career than any player has ever done it, because it would be his 16th year. Nobody's ever done it. Michael did it at age 35, which is the oldest player to do it in this age. Right. But that was his 13th year, in his final year with the Chicago Bulls. What if LeBron did it in his first year in LA, but his 16th season at age 34? Would that not be impressive? Would that not be a legacy builder?
Yeah, I think the thing was more impressive. What would be more impressive, or what LeBron wants more skill, would probably be to win the MVP. And I believe if he can get the 50-plus wins, he has a better chance. I don't really think scoring, because I still believe he's going to be somewhere between 25 and 20 points a night.
But remember, Michael Jordan won 10 scoring titles.
Yes.
LeBron's only won 1. But if he won the latest in his career scoring title ever, that'd be impressive. That would sort of level that playing field a little bit, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. How many times did winning those scoring titles did Michael Jordan take less than 20 shots a game?
He was the guy. LeBron can be the guy on this team, especially as it's made up right now.
Right.
Won't he be the first scoring option by far?
Oh, yeah.
Not that he always... Hasn't always been, but he's been a distributor, and I've always said he's still the best passer in basketball. Would he give that to Lonzo? Would he sort of bequeath that and say, "You become the best passer in basketball, and I'll play 2 guard, or I'll play small forward. I'll shoot."
He just might do that, Skip, but here's the problem. It could be a situation where it's 5-on-4. Because if they don't respect Lonzo's ability to shoot the basketball, so guess what? The double's going to always come from his guy.
Okay, but just remember this. We're going to get into this second about Rondo. Rondo's 6 feet 1 inches tall. Lonzo Ball's 6'7". So as he grows up, as his upper body matures, you don't think you can start punishing little guards down on the block? You don't think you could take some pressure off LeBron? With that?
Yeah. Rajon Rondo's always been 6'1".
I agree.
When has that ever been a problem?
It has on defense, because I think he's a liability on defense.
Yeah, that's... Because his ability, he doesn't care to. Because we see big guards, we see James Harden, we see Russell, guys that are bigger just refuse to play defense. They can... play it if it's first. Okay. And that's the thing with Rondo. When Rondo wants to play, you've seen it. You saw what he did to Dame Lillard. You watched him in that playoff game when he wants to play, when he wants to dig in.
Okay. So my plan B here for LeBron is, does he want to average a triple-double next year, which he's never done? Obviously, he was 28, 9, and 9 this year, so he was pretty close.
Right.
So what if next year he says, okay, I want to go Russell Westbrook? The problem is Russell Westbrook just went Russell Westbrook 2 straight years. Yeah. So it's the novelty's worn off. He's kind of cheapened the triple-double, right?
And we didn't, did he even get any votes for MVP?
No.
After following up a triple-double with a triple-double?
With a triple-double. No. Now it's not as big a deal, because obviously Oscar did it, what was it, 1963, and then Russell finally broke through.
66 or 62.
61, 62. So the point is, I don't know that would be his priority.
No.
So to me, when LeVar talks about the touchdown passes that Lonzo could throw to LeBron, you don't think he'd be great on the break? Lonzo is really, I know Kevin Love can stand flat-footed and do the two-hand overhead pass, but Lonzo can get it going, and as LeVar made the point, nobody's going to play faster than the Lakers with Lonzo at the point initiating the break. When you get... It's better than LeBron James on the wing, this side of Karl Malone and Stockton, right? See, LeVar's saying that LeBron will be, this is a quote, he'll be scoring all day with Lonzo. Well, could he average 32, 33? Yeah. Right. Could he get more shots? Average 19 shots. Russell Westbrook took 107 more shots than LeBron did last year. That's a lot of shots more.
Yeah.
Okay, well, could he cut that in half? Could he take 50 more shots?
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing. What's LeBron's priority? As you mentioned, triple-double, lead the league in scoring.
I don't know.
Can he play off the ball? See, everybody says this is what I want to do until they're forced to do it. Skip, he's never played off the ball. Now, I know he's saying he wants to, But what happens, his instinct will always kick in because we've seen him let JR bring the ball up, let Jeff Green, let everybody else bring the ball up. But when they get to Vine, what does he do, Skip? He waves everybody off. He brings the ball.
So if you tell me that in the end, bottom line, that LeBron James plays the same position that Lonzo Ball plays, Lonzo's got a big problem.
Yeah.
Okay?
I believe he will put up better numbers with Rondo than he does Lonzo.
Okay, but Rondo dominates the ball far more than Lonzo does because Lonzo's a hot potato passer. I mean, the ball does not stay in his hands very long.
If you lead the league in assists, you're moving the basketball.
Okay, but Rondo will dribble the basketball. Yeah. He will dribble it. He will dribble it to create. He will dribble it to bring screens to him to open up other people, right?
Right.
Okay, so it's a slower offense. He's not a fast break artist. Lonzo's 6'7", and there was that metric last year. He's one of the top 5 fastest guys in the league with the ball full speed up the court. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that? I think you're going to see a different LeBron unless he wants to play point. And if he does, then Lonzo should be on the trade block. He should be part of the blockbuster trade right now.
Do you notice that anytime Lonzo falters, it's always someone else's fault? Luke Walton's young, he doesn't know how to coach. The trainers don't know how to train my son. The other players don't know how to build.
That's all from LeVar, it's not from Lonzo.
That's my point, Skip. So he cannot make LeBron James better. LeBron James, so
he can make it different.
Yeah.
He can bring out other strengths that maybe LeBron hasn't focused on.
Well, LeBron has always led his team in assists. So there's a good chance in the 16th season with these two guys, he will lead the team, especially if he wants to play off the ball and play a good role. Because he's going to play off the ball, he requires two different things. He'll be asked to score more, assist less. So you might see his total go up. You might see him go 30 as opposed to 28-9. He goes 30-5 or 30-6.
Okay, now, Toronto. The little backup, as LeVar dismissed it. Just a little backup. LeVar, you're doing it again. You say somebody's going to put LeVar in his place. You know what actually